This is an experiential to support you in releasing any energies that are attached to certain relationship dynamics, fears, or experiences that you've had that can allow you to feel more spacious, free, and open. We are going to blur and transform and dissolve the energies that are connected with these. The Embody podcast accompanies you on your journey of remembering and embodying your true nature, integration and alignment with your vibrational clarity, self-love, and living a life of beauty and wholeness. It's a menu of transformative healing tools, experientials, meditations, and practices from a blend of family constellations, somatic therapies, and holistic and spiritual practices, sprinkled with vulnerable conversations with people who have the courage to be themselves, Alive Now episodes with updates on my personal process, and reverie episodes that are spiritual succulents that honor, reveal, hug, shake, or stir you into love. I'm your host, Candice Wu, integrative and intuitive healing facilitator and artist. Sometimes I receive really cool things during my cranial sacral therapy sessions. And what I mean is that while I'm on the table, I go into a deep meditative state usually at some point. And this time I received a tool that was incredibly powerful for me to clear out the debris, the residue of interactions of the past, of experiences of the past where I've kept some sort of attachment, emotion, or there's some energy within that experience that's still living today. No matter how much I've worked on those experiences, there seem to be still some residue in certain experiences. And it's very subtle and nuanced. And this tool I want to introduce to you today. So basically, have you ever taken chalk pastels and put down a couple of colors and then blurred them with your fingers? The chalky kind, the kind that's really powdery. And when you blur them with your fingers, the colors just blend. And sometimes you can blur them so much that the color starts to fade, or there's just very little color of the original color that you placed down. This is what came to me as far as clearing up some of the energy that's been held in certain experiences and dynamics that I wanted to clear and release. So let's jump in. So feel free to lie down or find a comfortable seated position. I recommend doing this when you're not driving and when you're in a safe space. Safe meaning private, and where you feel like you can touch into things emotionally and be contained or held in a space that supports you in healing. And as you're here, just letting your breath flow just as it is, noticing a couple of breaths. You might give your body some soothing touch and getting curious about what kind of touch would be soothing to perhaps your belly or your hips. Maybe a soft hug or holding your elbows, holding your knees. Anything that gives your body a sense of safety and containment, and the reminder to your nervous system that it has this whole container to release and move any emotions, to feel and experience. And so just letting your heart open a little more. First, just letting any periphery energies of the collective or any situations that have been stressful, work or school, or any situations that you're in, just let go of any of the energies that don't belong to you. And if that's challenging, just imagine that you could release all those energies. And as you come to your own energy, let it grow bigger with each breath in and with each breath out. Let your energy fortify within yourself. And as you feel into your heart, into your body, just open to any situations, relationships, upsetting situations that come to you now, starting one by one. And when you see the first one, if you're not sure about looking at that one or working with that one, if it may be too overwhelming or you just don't want to go there today, you can imagine swiping left, like it's like a dating app. You just swipe left and say, no thanks right now, and let a new one come. And when you have one, any situation, relationship, or experience that still has some energy to it, that's not neutral. Notice the energy that's coming with it. Notice the emotions and the body sensations. See an image, a visual, if possible, of this situation. You might see it as if it were like a photograph or a scene in a movie, or you might just see energy in colors or vibration or texture. Just be open to what comes and appears to you here. And then when you're ready, you can even take your hand and your fingers and just imagine blurring the energy of that experience or that relationship dynamic. And just use your fingers and imagine blurring all of the chalk pastel colors, letting them all blend, letting them move. And while you're doing that, just noticing what it feels like viscerally, your experience on the inside as it's happening. Without judging anything that comes up, just being with it and honoring whatever wants to move here while you blur the energy of this experience or dynamic. And then take a pause or a break when you're ready. Being with anything that's happening in your body. And start to notice any clearing or spaciousness, relief, any pleasure. Start to notice any small shift into that. Because when you notice that, the body continues forward with more capacity and continues to move and digest anything else that's there for you. And as you look back at that image, if you need to blur it a second round, go ahead. You can blur it mentally or again with your hand as if you could touch the energy of this relationship dynamic or experience that you've gone through, or even a fear that you have. Go ahead and blur it. And you could try slowing it down into slow motion, really slow, like snail speed. And noticing, witnessing the experience of doing it slowly, which also gives time to your nervous system, to your body, to your awareness to register what's happening here. And however the colors blur, if you'd like, you could imagine that they just start to fade into the nothingness, into the everything, and dissolve. And if it's something that would support you, if it makes sense to you, you could allow any color of light to come shining down upon this experience and upon you. This light can be sparkly and shimmery and luminescent if you'd like. Could be transparent or more opaque. Just let that light shine down into any residue or particles of this experience that you're blurring up and allowing to move, fade, and dissolve. Notice any changes in your physiology, a deeper breath or a spontaneous breath, heat, or a feeling of a flushing sensation of warmth coming to the skin. That means your body is digesting what's going on, and the heat, the energy is moving to the surface of the body and out. If there's any movement that your body would like to do in this process, honor that. Give it to your body. So we just did this 1-2 times. If you'd like to do this with more situations, feel free to do that. Feel free to return to the beginning of this experiential and follow along again, or just do this at your own pace. And I will leave you with a little bit of music here that can support this blurring of the energy, allowing the residual buildup of anything that's been locked into these situations or relationships, any symbol in your life, any fear, allowing that residue of energy to clear up and dissolve into all that is, and to let you feel freer and more natural and neutral inside of yourself, more spacious. Thanks so much for joining me for this experiential, and here's that little bit of soothing music for you to continue your process. Until next time.